to his art, and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
So, good morning and welcome back. Well, I'm here in my room, starting my vlog from my room, my dojo, my gym, whatever I can name it. And today's vlog is gonna be about, I usually don't have anything to vlog about, to be honest. There's nothing much interesting going in my life so that I can document it. But I try my best, and today's vlog is gonna be short and quick, and yeah, I'm just gonna show you around how I train boxing, and here only without going to gym, and what equipments do I use, and by now that's how I train, even though I don't go to gym, maybe in few years I might, but I'm not in that age, I'll be honest, to make this thing a career or be it a professional. I just love this. I just love training, and even when I'm training, that doesn't mean I just train anyhow. So I make sure I have enough basic equipments for me to train, and we're going to talk more about this, but let me show you guys what I use for my training, and it's most basic things that everyone must know and must have when they're training boxing. But so yeah, first of all, I use this hand wraps, and anyone I see many guys training without hand wraps, and I personally would say, learn to use your hand wraps as well. It's boring sometimes, to wrap your hands. I get it, but learn to use your hand wrap. It protects you, and it protects you, and protects your wrist. Less wrist injury. And what I have is gloves. Right now I have 3 pair of gloves. One pair, 2 pair, second pair, and third one is an MMA. Most likely it's an MMA glove, grappling, and that one. So what I have right now is this, and this one is, I think, is a 10-ounce gloves. So it's a very cheap one, to be honest. It's not expensive one. It's a very cheap, but it's quite handy. See, this is all I can afford. And another thing I have is boxing shoes. Sexy, isn't it? All black, my favorite color. And this one, I am in love with this boxing shoes, And similar, it's still cheap. It's not expensive stuff, but I used to train without boxing shoes, and I used to train with running shoes, but when you make a transition to boxing shoes, it gives you that feeling. Like I said, even though I just train just for fun, I wouldn't say fun, but for myself, for health wise, for mindset wise, I make sure I train properly, with whatever I can. So all these things I like this resistant bands, everything. I use it. I tie it somewhere in my doorknob, and it helps me for mobility. And I see these things from a professional boxers, their training camps, and that's how I learn, and that's how I train. So I wouldn't say it's a right approach. I wouldn't say it's a right approach, but I would love to be in a gym, train with good guys, learn, but right now I'm enjoying this too, and I'm learning, and so And another thing I have is a heavy bag and dumbbells. Dumbbells I use for some strength and conditioning. I mean, I don't want to sound professional, but yeah. Yeah, it is all this, it's everything I have here that helps me train. And I mean, it's not much, but it's not less as well. It helps me get going, my training. So, and what matters is your mindset. So like, I am there, I am showing up. I might be even fucking training better, or not better, but harder than many professional fighters. I don't know, I'm just saying, but I feel like that sometimes. So I am making sure, the grind doesn't stop. So I am learning from YouTube, social media, from other fighters' mindset. I am learning. I'm trying to note down everything. Like I said, this is an art that I want to master, and for that I must learn, and I'm willing to learn. This art, be it Muay Thai, boxing, MMA. I might not be good, but what do you expect from a guy who taught himself all these things, who never had any help? So, am I satisfied with my training? Absolutely not. But am I happy? Yes. So yeah, now I'm gonna go and get ready and play some cool Japanese. I like training with by listening to Japanese music, ancient samurai music. So I'm gonna enjoy with that and listen to that. And sometimes my English can be fucked up, but pardon my language. And yeah, I'm gonna go and start training, and I'm gonna come back again, and we're gonna talk some more. How like personally with my experience, how I train and how you guys can train. And to any guys who are yes, who are not who can't go to gym and cannot afford, but they want to train. So I might share a few things, So yeah, then let's start the training without wasting. So yeah, just done with the back work, and I do about 6 rounds of 2 minutes and 3 rounds of 1 minute. So that is like 6 something, calculate. I'm bad at maths, but yeah, and 5 rounds of shadow boxing, 3 to 5 depends. So that's done, and yeah. What I was trying to say is, like, for those who wants to learn MMA, boxing, Muay Thai, and they don't have any fund or money to join a gym, because to be honest, if I'm being honest, and it's quite expensive. These gyms, they are expensive, and it's not a problem, but not many can afford it. So, but they want to learn. So, for those who wants to learn, and what they can do is, get yourself a glove, hand wraps, glove, and a bag. At least it's 3, So yeah, get yourself this thing. I mean, you get invest. You know, this are all investment. Like I said, this sport is more than other. It's better than other sports. I'll be honest with you. You know, so invest in all these things. At least get a pair of gloves, a pair of hand wraps, and a bag. You know, and second, what they can do is, like I said, this is an art, right? This is an art. You know, Muay Thai, MMA, boxing, other combat sports. It's all an art. You know, so when they're art, you gotta master it. To master it, you gotta practice every day. You know, and more than practicing, you gotta study them. You know, and how do you study? By studying the fighters. You know, for me right now in boxing, personally, if I have to take boxing, I watch those small guys, you know, like Vasily Lomachenko, Inoue, you know. I mean, it could be, you know, you might not know, whoever watches it might not know who these are, but they are the goats, to be honest. You know, like Lomachenko, he just retired, and I study his footwork, you know, his footwork mostly, you know, how he moves his feet. Inoue, you know, right now he's like a god of Inoue, and right now currently I'm very, you know, I'm admiring. Should I use this word admiring? But I'm fascinated, let's just say, and I'm studying this another Japanese boxer, that is Junto, you know, Natakani. I think Nakatani, I guess so, but Junto, you know, he just won recently, and I study these fighters, you know, the way they move, the way they hit the heavy bags, the fighting IQ. I mean, I'm not a professional and I don't want to sound like that, but like I said again, you know, I am fucking in love with the sports, and you tell me to talk about this and do this sport for 24 hours, I am striking. You know, you just because you want to learn how to box or do Muay Thai, that doesn't mean you're just gonna swing your hands. You know, I've seen many guys who get themselves a pair of gloves, hand wraps, and bag, and all they're doing is swinging with no techniques. And I'm not saying I have technique, but you know, like I said, you know, I'm not a professional, but I am learning. I'm teaching myself, and maybe if I had a coach, that would be much better. I would love to learn more techniques, but at least I can say this to you guys, you know, I may not be good at it, but I don't suck. I can guarantee you that, for a guy who taught himself. And I might sound cocky, but I don't suck. The techniques and all might not be good, and obviously it's not good, but I have seen guys, they just swing around with no technique. They don't know their stances, what is southpaw, what is orthodox. They're just doing it, you know. So that's what I'm trying to say. Invest in these things. Study the fighter's mindset, the fighter's techniques, you know. Like, you can go and watch. Before I hit heavy bags, before I shadow box every morning, I am watching some of the fighters like Manny Pacquiao, Canelo, Inoue, you know, now Junto, Nakatani. All these guys, all the small guys, because I myself am small, you know. And heavyweight guys, I mean, they're good, obviously, like Anthony Joshua and everyone, but I am more fond of, you know, I like those guys who can move fast, you know, they are flexible, the reflexes are good. Like, my favorite is Lomachenko, man. I'm telling you, you know, that guy, I've watched it for a very long time, you know, his footwork, oh my god, his agility, and then all these things. Study the techniques, watch their training videos, and that's how you study, you know. Invest on those things, and especially when you start young, you know, study them, invest on those things, right? And when you reach that age, get yourself, even if you're going to a gym or whatever, you know, don't just rely on coaches, you know. Study your own fights, you know. Study your fights, study technique, skills from other fighters, professional fighters, and I won't say copy them, but I mean, just, you know, use. It's like sharing is caring, you know. Take one or two of the techniques and use it. I mean, this is an art, right? This is an art. If you can come up with your own technique, you know, this all. See, what I've learned from this art of striking, boxing, and other art of striking is, it's all about angles, you know. Boxing also, when you're landing punches, it's all about techniques and angles, right? So basically what I mean is, like, when you're hitting on a punching bag, try to find for more angles. You don't just go for knockout, you know. Many guys just go for big knockouts, you know. It looks flashy and good, but go for techniques. See where the openings are, you know. See where the openings are. See where you can hurt. See the vital points, like the splint shot, the liver shots, you know, jaw, where you can put more damage on your opponent, right? So all those things. See, study where you can, you know, how you can create an angle to hit that, to land that punch, all those things. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't want to sound professional again, but you can always learn from anyone. I have learned from many guys who are not a boxer or anything, you know, who has not fought in a high level. I have learned, even though even if it's just a YouTube, but I have learned. So all those things. Anyways, so I'm off. I don't want to make this vlog. It's already long. Damn. I'm off. See you again.